We see him as the rock, the provider, the protector. He's the sun in the sky, the steady hand, the calm in the storm. The divine masculine, as an archetype, moves through the world with an energy of strength, purpose, and self-assurance. He builds, he achieves, he provides. But what happens when things get quiet? What goes on in those silent moments between his responsibilities, when the masks he wears for the world are finally set aside? In the stillness of his own soul, there's a whole universe of unspoken truths and deep desires he feels he can never share. These aren't just simple wants or needs. They're the core yearnings of his spirit, the secret language of his heart that he's often terrified to speak out loud. He's afraid that just naming them might shatter the image of strength he's worked so hard to build. He fears being judged, misunderstood, or worse, that his vulnerability would be mistaken for weakness. This journey we're about to take isn't about exposing him, but about understanding him on a soul level. It's about gently lifting the veil to see the man behind the armor. For the divine feminine who holds space for him, this kind of understanding is the key. It's the sacred key that unlocks not just a deeper romantic bond, but a profound spiritual union that can transform you both. He seems strong, self-assured, and totally in control. But what if just beneath that surface, he's holding a universe of unspoken desires he's terrified to voice? These are the secret longings he wishes you understood. Not because he's weak, but because they hold the keys to a deeper spiritual and romantic connection. We're about to uncover the divine masculine's deepest desires that he can't tell you himself. Stay with me as we explore the unspoken truths that can transform your relationship. The desire to be truly seen and accepted. The first, and maybe the most fundamental desire of the divine masculine soul, is the deep, aching need to be truly seen and unconditionally accepted for who he is underneath all the roles he plays. Every single day, he puts on his armor. He becomes the provider, the logical problem solver, the unshakable leader. Spiritual and societal conditioning has often taught him that his value is tied to what he does. He gets praise for his achievements, for his stability, for his ability to handle pressure without showing any cracks. But under this polished exterior is a man with hidden fears, secret doubts, and moments where he feels like he's just not enough. He has a past filled with regrets and failures that he replays in his mind. He has insecurities he's a master at hiding, and a tender heart he's learned to shield at all costs. What he wants more than anything is a sanctuary, a person, a connection, where he can finally take off the armor. He longs for someone to look past the stoic provider and see the sensitive soul inside. He craves a look that doesn't just see his strength, but recognizes the incredible effort it takes to keep it all together. This is why his connection with his divine feminine can feel so electric and, sometimes, so terrifying. In your presence, he gets the unnerving feeling that you see right through him. You don't just see the man who conquers the world. You see the man who is sometimes conquered by it. You see his shadow and his light. And while part of him might pull away from the intensity of being so completely known, a deeper part of him is starving for it. His deepest desire is for you to see all of him, the warrior and the wounded boy, and to love him not in spite of his flaws, but because of the beautiful, messy, authentic person they make him. Your acceptance is the safe harbor where his soul can finally come home. The desire to express vulnerability without fearing weakness. Imagine being taught from a young age that your strength, your very masculinity, depends on your ability to suppress your emotions. This is the conditioning many men experience. The world often hands them a script that says stoicism is strength and vulnerability is a critical weakness. He's the knight in shining armor, and knights aren't supposed to admit they're scared in the middle of a battle. They aren't supposed to cry or tremble or say, "I'm lost." So he builds a fortress around his heart. Inside, there's a rich, complex, emotional world. But the walls are so high, he can barely access it himself, let alone share it. His secret desire, the one that whispers to him at night, is to be able to lower the drawbridge without fearing an attack. He yearns to show you the cracks in his armor, not so you can fix them, but so you can know him. This fear is often why he pulls away when a connection gets deep. The intimacy his divine feminine offers feels like a call to surrender, and to him, surrender can feel like defeat. He's terrified that if he shows you his sensitive heart, his fears, or his inner turmoil, you'll lose respect for him or see him as less of a man. What he can't tell you is that he doesn't want to be fixed. He wants to be held. He wants a safe space where his raw emotions are met not with judgment or a list of solutions, but with compassionate presence. When you can sit with him in his uncertainty without flinching, you give him the greatest gift. You show him that real strength isn't the absence of vulnerability, but the courage to embrace it, the desire for inner peace and emotional calm. Outwardly, the divine masculine often projects an image of calm and control. He's the steady ship in the chaotic sea of life. His mind is geared toward action and solutions. But inside, it can be a completely different story. Deep within him, there's often a storm of unresolved feelings, a relentless inner critic, and a sense of emotional restlessness. This inner chaos is one of his biggest secrets. So when he seems detached or aloof, it's often a coping mechanism, a way to manage the inner turmoil that he doesn't know how to quiet. His soul craves peace, not just a lack of external conflict, but a deep, lasting inner stillness. He yearns for a quiet mind and a heart that isn't so heavy. This desire for peace is a powerful driver on his spiritual journey, even if he doesn't realize it. He might try to find this peace through external things, achievements, distractions, or being alone. But these are usually just temporary fixes that only numb the noise for a little while. This is where the energy of the divine feminine becomes so important. Your energy can be a soothing balm for his inner world. You are the calm water that can soothe his fire. Your intuitive, heart-centered presence can gently mirror his inner state back to him, while at the same time offering the energy of balance he desperately needs. When you are grounded in your own peace, your presence becomes a sanctuary for him. He doesn't need you to solve his problems or analyze his feelings. He just craves the energetic permission to simply be. In your serene presence, he can let go of the need to constantly be on, to be fighting or achieving. Your calm allows him to find his own, the desire to align with his true purpose. At the very core of the divine masculine soul is a powerful drive for purpose, a mission to fulfill. For much of his life, this drive gets channeled into what society calls success, a career, financial stability, providing for his family. He builds a life based on these external goals, and yet, deep down, a nagging feeling of emptiness might remain. He might have everything he thought he wanted, but still feel like he's playing a part in a story that isn't really his. This is his soul stirring, calling him toward his true, soul-aligned purpose. This isn't about a job. It's a spiritual calling. His soul wants to awaken to its real path, to understand its mission, and to become the most authentic version of himself. This journey often involves a painful but necessary look at his past. He has to face the decisions he made from his ego and learn the hard lessons of forgiveness, forgiving others, and most importantly, forgiving himself. His encounter with his divine feminine is often the catalyst for this awakening. Your spiritual growth acts as a powerful mirror, showing him both his disconnection and his incredible potential. This can create a lot of tension. He might resist or run because the call to his true purpose is terrifying. It asks him to let go of who he thought he was and to lead from his spirit, not his ego. What he secretly needs from you isn't pressure, but unwavering faith in his journey. He needs you to be the lighthouse, holding a steady vision of his highest self, even when he's lost in the fog. Your belief in him gives him the courage to finally answer his own call, the desire to create a safe and harmonious haven with you. While the divine masculine is often seen as the adventurer and warrior in the outside world, one of his most private desires is for a sanctuary at home. He deeply craves a safe, balanced, and harmonious relationship. A sacred space where he can finally lay down his sword. This isn't about wanting a life with no conflict, but a partnership where emotional safety is the foundation for everything else. He spends his days in a world that can feel like a battlefield, full of competition and pressure. The last thing he wants is for his relationship to feel like another war zone. This is why he might shut down during arguments. It's not always because he doesn't care. It's often because the emotional chaos feels like a threat to the inner peace he craves. His deepest desire is for a partnership where both masculine and feminine energies are honored and balanced, creating a dynamic of support instead of opposition. He yearns for a haven where he can express himself without walking on eggshells or fearing his words will be used against him. He wants to know that his thoughts, his dreams, and even his off days will be met with understanding. He longs for a partner who is not just his lover, but his teammate. Someone he can build a life with that feels nurturing for both. He wants to be that strong, protective energy for you, while also knowing he can lean on your wise, intuitive energy when he feels lost. This balance is everything. Creating this haven with you isn't just a relationship goal. It's the ultimate fulfillment of his heart's desire for true connection. The desire to embody loving service and protection. The protective instinct is one of the most well-known traits of divine masculine energy. He is the guardian, the one who stands between his loved ones and harm. But his deepest desire goes way beyond this. He doesn't just want to protect you from threats. He yearns for his protection to be an act of loving service, rooted in compassion. His highest goal is not to control, but to create a safe container where you both can grow. When his masculine energy is unbalanced or comes from a place of ego, this protective instinct can get twisted. It can show up as possessiveness, control, or a self-serving ambition. But in his soul, he knows this is just a shadow of his true potential. His spirit longs to refine this raw power into something sacred. He wants his strength to be a source of stability, not intimidation. He wants his actions to be driven by deep love and a desire to contribute, not by a need for validation. His true desire is to be a force for good. He wants to protect your dreams, champion your growth, and provide the steady, grounded presence that allows your divine feminine energy to flourish. Think of him as a strong, ancient tree whose deep roots and sturdy trunk provide shelter, allowing the beautiful life around it to blossom. This is the role he yearns to play. He finds his deepest fulfillment not in conquering, but in nurturing, not in taking, but in giving. When he's aligned with his soul, his protective nature becomes an act of service, and his relationship with you becomes the main way he learns to express this sacred duty. As we've walked through these hidden truths, maybe you've felt a sense of recognition or a deeper understanding of the masculine energy in your own life. Which of these unspoken desires resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story is a vital part of this conversation. And if this message served you, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more guidance on your spiritual journey. The divine masculine is a beautiful blend of strength and sensitivity, action and introspection. The 6 desires we've explored: the yearning to be seen, to be vulnerable, to find peace, to live his purpose, to create a safe haven, and to serve with love, are not weaknesses. They are the signs of a soul in the middle of a powerful awakening. He may never tell you these things directly. The conditioning is deep, and the fear of being misunderstood is real. But his actions, his silences, and even his struggles are often the quiet language of these unspoken needs. The journey of a sacred partnership isn't about forcing these desires out into the open, but about creating the loving and patient space for them to emerge in their own time. Your role as the divine feminine isn't to fix him, but to focus on your own healing. It's to embody the unconditional love and faith you want to see in the world. As you become more anchored in your own truth, you become the lighthouse that guides him home. You become the living invitation for him to lay down his armor and reveal the magnificent truth of his own soul. The ultimate union he's looking for is not one of dependency, but one where 2 whole people choose to walk side by side, mirroring each other's light and creating a love that has the power to heal not just themselves, but the world.